This is a fun little alien ship, and there's a little option in there that I'll show you as we go along. So you may or may not use all of these balloons depending on which option you go for. I've got a balloon straw here that I use for double stuffing. I've got a 5-inch round lime green alien head and a 5-inch round clear. I'll double stuff those in a minute for you. And I've got 4 gray 260s. 2 of them have about 4.5 or probably a 5-inch tail left on the end of them. 2 of them have about a 2.5 to 3-inch tail left on the end of them. And then the last one is a 360. It's got about a 6 to 6.5-inch tail left uninflated on the end of it. Let's go ahead and start by our double stuffing. Most of you probably know how to do this, but just in case you don't, take a balloon straw, slide the 5-inch round on the end of it, and then take and slide the clear over the alien head. There we go. Pull your straw out, and then when you inflate the clear first to about 3 or 4 inches there. I know that's a little more difficult to see. There we go. And then you inflate your alien head to whatever size. I like to get him where he's nice and round that you want there. Tie that off. And there you've got an alien head inside of a helmet, which never ceases to amaze people, even though it's a fairly simple technique. We're going to set that aside for the moment. And then we're going to start with our 2 longer gray 260s, the ones with the shorter tail on them, about a 3-inch tail. Make sure they're kind of soft, and we're going to take and just tie each of these into a loop. So tie the nozzle to the tail. And the reason I didn't blow it up all the way is because we don't need them too big. Let's go ahead and tie both of them together, or both of them into a loop, I should say, just like that. There we go. Now, once you've got these 2 tied into a loop, start with one of them. What you're going to do is you're going to fold it in half, and then take the nozzle end, or the knot is tied in, and then I'm going to lay it on its side so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to fold it over because I want to divide it into thirds. I'm going to make it basically like a 3-petal flower. So what you'll do is if you'll fold it over so where the 2 ends are tied together, because you want the knot in the middle. So don't fold around it in, fold the knot in, so that you've got this long bubble in the bottom, and this goes about halfway into that long bubble. So grab the end of that one, twist it, and then twist your other 2 in, so that you get a basic 3-petal flower, and you want them pretty even. And then we're going to repeat that with our other one. So again, just fold it in half, fold that over to get to about the halfway point of the long bubble. You can let go of that. There we go. And then fold those all like that. Now we're going to take the 2 of these and we're going to combine them. So just take and push the middle of one into the middle of the other. And then grab a couple of your loops and spin them around each other, just like that, to lock it into place. So you get basically like a 6-petal flower, a little larger. Now we're going to take and set that aside for just a moment here. We'll make a couple of components, then we'll start putting it all together in a minute. So we've got our 2 shorter, I should say, 260s. Start with either one of those. What we're going to do is you're going to make about a 3-finger bubble, followed by about a 2.5-finger bubble, slightly shorter, and then another 3-finger bubble there, the same size as that first. There we go. And then we're going to twist that together. And then we're going to make a small round bubble and make it into a pink square. We're basically making a little landing foot so we can land and set. Then we're going to take and make about a 5 or 6-inch bubble. I'll take and the length of my hand and my thumb. We're in another bubble the same size. And we're going to make a pink twist. And then we're going to make another landing assembly just like that, a foot. So about a 3-finger bubble, a slightly shorter bubble, and then another 3-finger bubble. Just that into that pink twist there, and then we're going to pop this excess off. We don't need it. Secure that in. And now we're going to take and redivide that in half again, like that. And then you're going to take where we've twisted that into 2 bubbles, and this twist is going to go into the middle of our 6-petal assembly here. Bring it around, bring them on the bottom, cross them over. We'll straighten it all up in a minute. It's not going to sit real pretty until we get it all together. But you can see where we're going to get our landing pods, or our landing skids, whatever you want to call them. And we're going to set that aside and grab our last 260 here. And we're going to start just like we did the other by making the little landing foot. So make your 3-finger bubble, slightly smaller bubble, another 3-finger bubble, stitch that together, and then a pinch twist. And we want 3 feet, so we've got 6 loops around here. What you'll have is 1 foot with every other pair, so 1 here, here, and here, or however that falls out. So I only need 1 out of this, so I'm going to make my long bubble, and then remove this excess, tie that off, and then we're going to take this, our nozzle here, twist it up into the middle of our 6-petal assembly here. Bring it down to the bottom. Let's get these all straightened. Now what I was saying earlier is you're going to position these so that they're at every other gap, as it were, like that. So you've got 1 between these 2, then a gap, 1 between these 2, and a gap, 1 between those 2. So that's going to give us our landing skid so we can land. Tuck those in there. Let's go take that twist and turn it sideways and tuck it just a little bit up in between there. You can get it where it's going to sit a little better. You may have to experiment to get it to where it's going to want to sit flat. There we go. So it'll sit. Now you can do this without the feet if you want. That's entirely up to you, but I went ahead and show you the feet first because it's a lot easier to put the feet into this before we put the big 360 in there in a minute. And it's also easier to put your alien head in before you put the last piece in. So take your alien head now, and you're going to take the nozzle and just twist that also into the middle. And obviously, you're going to put it on the opposite side of the feet. So tuck that up in there. And again, it's not going to sit real pretty just yet, but it'll all come together in a minute, and then it'll sit a lot better. So now we've got our alien head in there and our very distorted spaceship. There we go. So now we're going to take our 360, our last balloon, and what you want to do with it is we're going to take and feed it through these openings in our loops here. So I'm going to fan them out just a little bit to make it a little bit easier. And just start at one point and begin to pull it through. You don't want to pull them up snug because they're going to be kind of spaced out around it once we're done. And then once you get back around to the other side, what you want to do is you want this 360 to make a nice circle inside there. So figure out where they're going to cross over. That'll give you a circle. Not too big, you don't want it bulging out. And where they're going to cross over, we're going to tie those in together. I'm going to let the air out of this end here so that I can just tie that together. Just like that. Trim that excess off. And then we're going to take and we're going to slide our rings around. We want to cover up that knot. So put one of your rings over that knot. And then just spread your others around so that they're pretty much evenly spaced on that. And now you can see where it's going to hold our ship together. Then you want to make sure your feet are all, again, spaced out on the bottom. I don't think that's where they need to be. So that you get one in every other gap. And then wherever I've got that knot hidden away, I'll put that in the back. I'll have my alien's head face the other side. So there you've got your nice little alien spacecraft with the landing feet and your alien in a helmet. And of course, you can leave off the feet if you want and still get a pretty cool looking spaceship, but the feet make it nice because now we can land.